Well, it's a big game for us. It's an exciting game. You know, it's a different type of team that you prepare for, offensively for them, defensively for us. I think people sometimes think that they're not what they truly are. Yeah, they run some option stuff, but you know, they're averaging 33 points a game and 438 yards a game. So they're a very explosive, powerful offense that can make plays. And then defensively, you know, in their last 3 games, they're only allowing 20 points per game. So it's a huge challenge for us. And, you know, coming off of the win on Saturday, you know, I was impressed by the way they came back today and practiced with great focus and intention, which they know they need to do in order to play a tremendous Air Force team. So we're excited about the opportunity Saturday.
Coach, I know you were a little banged up, you know, with some of the guys. How's the team, you know, held up injury-wise, you know,
Good.
this week?
Good. It's been really good. Yeah, and Mel practiced today, which is a great thing, and Ty Bowman was back out there, which is a great thing for us. So Mel hasn't practiced for several weeks, as you all know. So he looked great. Ty looked great, and I think we you know, what looked during the game that could have been, you know, there's some guys leaving the game and not coming back. We're in really good shape. So great job by the players, just recovering. Great job by our medical staff and our athletic trainers, getting everybody back to where they can practice and participate on Saturday. Lee, it wasn't as bad as it looked. It looked really bad. There's hope for Lee this week. I can't guarantee it, but you know, Lee's a tough dude, and if they can put a brace on it, he'll go out and he'll play well.
What about Juice?
Same thing. I mean, those guys, you know, they're just working the process of getting back to the field on Saturday, which is exciting. You know, it's exciting to see guys that do everything they possibly can to get themselves in a position physically that they can get back and participate with their teammates.
Having an environment like you had on Saturday, what can that do for the team to just see what they've created?
Well, we're beyond that now. You know, I would hope that by this time we've earned the trust of our fans and that we'll have the same type of environment Saturday. You know, I hope there's not a letdown, you know, because when you reach that height, you know, and you go out and you perform like we did and deliver like we did, I think the expectation of our players is just going to be like that again. And so I'm hopeful there's not a letdown, you know. And I know there won't be a letdown on our team because our focus is on what happens in the field. But, you know, we've worked very hard for 4 years to earn that support. And then we had to go out there Saturday night and we had to verify it. You know, we had to validate it, that people didn't walk out of the stadium saying, oh, we came close again, but we didn't win. Well, we won, and we beat Duke, which was a good team, and we're 3-1 against the ACC the last 4 times we played them. And I think that, you know, this will be the first time I've ever said it really about a crowd, because you know what I say. I say I appreciate the people that are there. I think that our players have earned, you know, something here. Now we'll see how it is. And once again, I'll tell you this: if there's 2,000 there or 40,000 there, we will appreciate every single person that's there.
Jim, to follow up on that, you're doing something that's hard to do around here. You've got people excited about football in November. Are you and your staff and your players aware of the buzz around the team right now?
We care about what happens in this building right here. That's just noise, and it's not something we pay attention to. Whether you're winning or you're losing, people are going to have opinions about you. When you're losing, they say that you're awful. When you win, they say that you're great, and neither are true. You know, you are what you are every single day. So that's always got to be our focus, and it is our focus.
Coach, what are some of the ways that you make sure your team stays far from complacency, especially after big wins like Duke and Boston College?
Stick to the process. You know, stick to the things that help us find success on Saturdays, which is tremendous weeks of preparation, great focus, practice with intensity and intention, create the right mindset. Making sure that we understand that every game matters, that every play matters, that every practice matters, that every moment of preparation matters. You keep the focus narrow. You don't think about the past. You know, you learn from it. It's just like a loss. A win and a loss are equally challenging. You know, you have to approach the next week exactly the same, whether you win or you lose. Whether it's a big win or it's a tough loss, you have to approach the next week the same way, and that is go right back to what you believe in as a program is going to prepare you to have the best chance to win on Saturday. And our guys, thankfully, have a great understanding of that.
Coach, a team like Air Force and their offensive scheme, how difficult does that make it for defense, and in what areas does that?
They stress you because of the way they run the ball, and kind of play hide and seek with the football. And you can involve the quarterback in the run game and get the extra hat. That challenges you. They are not like Rice, but there are some similarities, which, at least we've seen it. I'm not going to say it helps us. What helps us is preparing well during the week and go out and playing well, but at least there's a little bit of familiarity. But these guys are polished. I mean, these are some of the smartest young men in the United States of America. They're warriors. They play with that warrior spirit. They're relentless. You don't go to the Air Force Academy unless you got something special in your heart and soul, and they play that way. So we just have to be ready for that.
Coach, Ray Mello obviously had one of his bigger games against Duke. Can you talk about just how pivotal he's been for your receiving corps this season?
He seems to show up right when we need him, and he's got the speed to get away from people. And, there's so much focus on Skylar right now that if you can involve Ray Mello and you can involve John Nider as we have, and you can involve Juice as we have, and Alex and Lou, and then you get Meach going and you get Terrence going, and, you put some speed out there and guys that can make some plays, that helps you offensively. It gives you more options to open things up and do things that, that put your players in a position to make plays.
With Senior Day coming up, what stands out to you about this senior class, especially some of the guys that have been here for a few years now?
Well, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the things that they've worked so hard to accomplish, and the resilience that they've shown, and the toughness that they've shown. And it'll be fun to hopefully get a chance to celebrate them before the game. They've earned it. And so it's really important that we have that chance to do that, and then we put it behind us and we play the game.
What does it mean to have a guy like Mel, decide that he wants to come back and continue playing this season?
Well, he's a playmaker, as we all know, and he's explosive with the ball in his hands, and he's a proven player at this level. And he's worked really hard to get back to where he can be a part of this thing again, on the field. He's never left the program at all. He's in every meeting. He's engaged. He's worked really hard in the weight room, in his rehab things, in our athletic training room. And it's just kind of, to me, it kind of reinforces what I thought when he decided to leave the portal and come back here, that he had a special character trait that we really value, and that is toughness, and that is loyalty.
Does that add another element to, obviously the passing game has been great, but early in the year, him and Cam kind of had that combo going in the back. Is that something that you can bring back?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and you go back to what we had last year with Cam and him and Darrell, and those three guys all kind of different in the way that they ran and their size and their style. So you get a guy like Mel back. You see that we're using Meach a little bit more. We know Victor is going to be steady as can be. MJ is playing more, so it just gives us another option back there to put a guy on the field that's different than the others.
And Alex is another one of those guys, Pony, who can do a lot of different things. Has it been kind of fun to see how you can use him in so many different ways? Obviously,
yeah, Alex and Lou both have real versatility. You see him in a lot of different positions on the field. Lou more than Alex. We'll use him in the backfield a little bit more. We'll split him out. We'll motion him more. But Alex, his ability as a blocker and what he's been able to show as a pass catcher. And then, you don't necessarily want to tackle that guy in the open field when he's got the ball in his hands, because he's a 6'6", 268-pound guy running pretty fast. So, I give our staff credit for finding ways to get our players the ball, and I give our players credit for owning their role and going out and performing at a high level.
Jim, does confidence play any role in preparing for your next game, walking off the field in the last minute with the wing? Does that confidence carry over?
No, that's over. Like I said, that's over. Confidence comes from the work you do during the week, preparing for your next opponent. That's where our confidence comes from. The way we prepare, the way we meet, the way we hydrate and fuel, and the way we recover, and the attention to detail that we pay when we're in meetings, taking notes and going back and reviewing them at night, and getting good rest. We call it sweeping the corners. That's where your confidence comes from.
6 turnovers forced by your defense in the last 2 games. What do you credit that
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't typically read the opposing coach's comments, so I don't know what he was thinking. I know what I think, and I've said it many, many times, and I'll say it again because I truly, truly believe this is the factor is if you do your job and you have 11 guys doing their job at the same time, and they're consistently doing that, then you're going to make the plays that you need to make when you need to make them. And I really, truly believe that. I truly believe that, you know, hey, we got to get takeaways. We got to, you know, that's just words. Like the way those things happen is do your job, be in position, count on your teammate to do his job, and he'll be in position, and then be ready to capitalize when that play presents itself. And that's our mindset, and it's very consistent. And you know, hopefully it pays off for us on Saturdays. We good? Anything else? All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good day.